Happy Sunday. Just seeing if this is coming through here. I have some neighbors in the background, and you might hear some noise in the background. I'm on my terrace right now, and I'm just waiting to see if this is actually going to go through. So how are you guys? Today we're going to talk about, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get it on my cell phone to see if I have a good feed. Hold on. I got to take my data off. And let's hope that works. Looks like it's working on my end. So guys, what's going on? Welcome. It is a little bit sunny out today. Woo, really sunny. And I just want to go through a few things today. Let me see, who do we have here? Hello. Sorry, I can't see the names. It is really sunny right now. As you can see, I'm wearing my sunglasses. But I just want to go through some of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I just wanted to come on quickly today for, and I was out. I was dancing. I don't think the video is being shown on YouTube right now because it told me that it is ineligible. I mean, I knew it was going to be ineligible for monetization, but I didn't think that they were going to, just prevent the whole video from being seen. So maybe it won't be, but there's 2 videos I did Friday night. One of them is being seen, and the other one, just for some reason, is in red and keeps saying ineligible. So I went out Friday night. I recuperated yesterday, had a good time. I did a diary of a working girl yesterday. Check out that story. Some of you guys came back at me. Well, I think one person came back at me and said, this story doesn't sound true. And I'm like, okay. What do you want me to do if it doesn't sound true? It's someone's life. And she told me a few stories. So those are going to be coming out in the future. And also a lot more stories on this whole thing on Saturdays. So now that I am on a hiatus from my show for the next month, I'm going to be doing Real Estate Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm going to also be doing Diary of Working Girl on Saturdays, but I'm going to try to push out another story time sometime throughout the week. Motivation Mondays. Tomorrow I'm going to be putting out a video about somebody who I'm very concerned about. We all know her, and you guys may not find it very interesting, but it's Wendy Williams. And, I think the reason why I chose to speak about her tomorrow is because I think she's inspired a lot of us. Talk show hosts and also people around the world. And she's just somebody who is really suffering right now. And a lot of us do suffer in life. Some of us, we suffer with drinking, smoking, depression. There's just so many things out there that so many of us, we suffer from. And right now in the media, a lot of people are laughing at her. And I think it's just very sad. Some people are saying it's karma, because she has trashed so many celebrities in the past. But really, when you think of it and you look at it, that's just because her viewers, I was never a viewer of the Wendy Williams show myself, but a lot of her viewers, that's what they tuned in for, to get the tea on, celebrities. And I think that was one of the reasons why she did what she did, and she lost a lot of friends, I think, and she lost a lot of people, and due to her lifestyle now, she's lost a lot of fans, and I feel that she's alone, and she's probably drinking a lot, and now without her show, she's most likely nosediving into the pits of danger. So I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow on Motivation Monday. And hopefully some of you guys will find some motivation from the video as well. I'm not just talking about it because it's celebrity news. I'm actually talking about it because I care. Now, this Tuesday, again, I'm going to be talking about real estate in Sosua. So now let's just get to Sosua because that's what this video is about. And I do want to talk about what's really going on in Sosua right now because a lot of you guys have been asking about the updates on the beach. And I was going to go there today, but I have so much to do today that I thought, you know what, let me just hop on here, chat with you guys, and give you the updates from here. And sometime throughout the week, maybe even tomorrow, I'll do a little videoing and walk the beach and show you guys what's going on the beach. I do know that a lot of you guys are concerned about the future of Sosua. Well, some of you other ones are excited about the changes. So, in regards to the beach, nothing has been said about the beach being reconstructed. Once again, I don't think things are put on hold. I think things are being strategically planned. In the past, there would be a lot of talk about certain things happening in Sosua and nothing getting done, nothing getting built. But right now, other things are getting built, and we can see signs of other things happening. For instance, here in Los Charamicos, where I live, it's a Dominican neighborhood. They are remaking the roads. They are putting brand new sidewalks in, and it is pretty amazing. And also, they're doing the same thing in Cabarete. For those of you who don't know, Cabarete is actually in the municipal of Sosua. So Sosua is a municipal. And when the president's talking about building up Sosua, he's not just talking about Bate, he's talking about Sosua. That is including La Mulata, Los Cerros, Los Castillos, Playa Laguna, also like anywhere from here to Cabarete and a little bit more. Things are getting built up and they are looking nice. If you walk down the streets of Cabarete right now, you will definitely see that Cabarete is a place that does need fixing up. The roads, they they're so butchered up. Now, in regards to the beach, I do believe that the beach is going to be built up after September. Now, again, this is speculation that I'm hearing from some of my connections, and what they're telling me is that the president, the whole entire everything is going to be put on hold because it's summertime. And even though we have a hot climate here all throughout the year, it's still summertime here. And that means the kids are out of school. And that means that a lot of the parents who want to take their kids out throughout the summertime or even on the weekends, one of their main places that they like to go to is the beach. Playa Sosua. People come from all around, from Santiago, from Santo Domingo, and they come to enjoy everything that is to be enjoyed here in the Dominican Republic. Of course, Sosua is the number one destination in the Dominican Republic, and not just for foreigners. It's also the number one destination for Dominicans. So things are most likely on hold right now until September due to the fact that the kids are not in school and it is an excursion that a lot of families go on. I have been hearing a lot about the Marriott Hotel and some photos of how that's going to look. And my gosh, does it ever look amazing? It looks pretty beautiful. And, so we're still on hold with all these things that are going on, that all these things that are planned, the construction and the, renovations of everywhere. But it is showing its head in real estate. Real estate right now is not stabilizing at all. It is going up and up. I was having a conversation with someone the other day that bought a condo for 47,000 just a year ago, and already this just the year here and like within 1 year it's gone up 20,000. Now, by the time December comes, when high season rolls over, then of course it's going to go up even more. So, guys, I do want to say that if you're looking to get in on real estate, then now is the time to do it. And if you can't afford it, then don't worry, you may not get in on Sosua. Like, that's clear, and I don't want to discourage you, But there are a lot of other places in the Dominican Republic that you can invest in. More specifically, Sabaneta, Veragua, and I'm going to be traveling very, very soon, and I'm going to be going around the island. I'm going to be going to Semana in the next couple of weeks. I want to bring you guys with me. I'll be doing a live to air. My motoconcho buddy, he's going to come with me. So is Noche. I put up a video the other day of him and I going to the spa, and I rented a car. I paid for it, but he drove it, and we went to Puerto Plata together, and it was awesome. He drove very well. So we decided that we're going to go to Samana, and we're going to bring Noche, my dog, with us. So we're going to go for 2 days. We're going to drive there. We're going to rent an Airbnb. Hopefully, it's a private home with a pool. And if it's not, then hopefully it's a nice place that is dog friendly. And that's about it. We're just going to stay there for a couple of days, and I'm going to document the road trip. So I'm going to dedicate most of my videos that week to the different places that we stopped off in along the road, and also what Samana looks like, because a lot of you guys ask about that. And I would love to bring that to you. So there are a lot of places on the way to Samana that we're going to stop into, which is like Cabarete and also Sabaneta. I want you guys to know more about Sabaneta, Gaspar Hernandez, and also Rio San Juan. And the reason why I want you to know about those areas is because those areas are quite important just for you to know when it comes to investing, and for you to know when it comes to renting. I know right now when it comes to rent, I have a lot of people contacting me for cheaper apartments, and a lot of people that are coming back to me because I've had clients that would come here for their first time, and they would rent an apartment from me, and they got a really nice, reasonable apartment, but then, they left because they went back home to wherever they came from, and now they're coming back, and because they know the place, they are contacting the people that they once rented from, or they're contacting people on Airbnb, and they're really looking for deals and they're not able to find them. So they're coming back at me and they're like, Cerise, can you find me something? And I'm like, well, I'm also, I have a few inexpensive places, but I'm also, just kind of stumped at how much prices have gone up. So don't be surprised, and don't feel like you're getting the gringo price. That's one of the things that a lot of you guys are afraid of. You're like, oh, you're being charged the gringo price because last year when you came here, the rent was, 400 a month. Now you're coming and the rent's 650 a month. That is inflation. It's happening all around the world, but it's also because it's due to tourism here in the Dominican Republic. Tourism has been at its highest year ever, and it is pretty amazing. It's amazing for people that own property here, building property here, own businesses here. People are seeing a change, and they're seeing an influx of tourists coming straight here to Sosua. So I would suggest to you guys to, consider somewhere out of Sosua. No, I shouldn't say out of Sosua, because Sosua is pretty much the municipal, like I said. So out of, the beachfront. If you're looking for something that's reasonable, consider a Dominican neighborhood like what I live in. You guys, especially you guys that have been coming here for a while and you're looking to save money and you want to, stay a little bit longer. And so really, my suggestion to you is get something a little bit more reasonable, a little bit away from the main road. I'm a single woman, and like for instance, I don't live in Batay. That's the tourist town, but it's only, oh my gosh, 4 minutes away on Motoconcho, maybe even three. I want to say three, but with traffic and stuff of that nature, it's about 4 minutes. And so, yeah, it's over the highway and at nighttime. But if I'm a single woman and I can just hop on a motoconcho outside of one of the clubs on Pedro Clasante at 1 o'clock in the morning, like I did Friday, and find a trusted motoconcho, then you can as well. And I'm just telling you how to do it. You want to do it safely, no matter where you are around the world. You always want to be safe. So when you are doing something like that, whether you're staying in Los Charamicos where I am, or if you're doing it because you're like, and even in a gated community, you know, like Casa Linda or anywhere. Oh yeah, speaking of Casa Linda, I'll be selling for Casa Linda. I have a connection there now. They gave me actually my own account with Casa Linda. So now I will be connecting with them on that level. So if you're looking to buy in Casa Linda, rent in Casa Linda, give me a shout because I will have that connection now. I'm excited to tell you guys about that because there was a point where I was hearing a few negative things about Casa Linda. So, you know, I just tapped into them on my own and I was like, listen, I really want to get closer with you guys just so I know exactly what's happening. I don't want to rely on an outside source that I'm like a third party person dealing with. I want to deal with Casa Linda and have access to all of their plans, all of their construction, all of their prices, and be able to send you guys forms and documents and information on each villa. Each villa has a different name, like the construction of each villa, a 2 bedroom, a 3 bedroom, a 4 bedroom, the layout of it, and help you guys along with the process, even if you are buying a home that's already built or if you're going to be building your home. Okay, because there's 10 phases there now. People are selling their houses, people are waiting on houses to be built. For instance, right now, some people are waiting 10 months for their homes to be built because it is something that a lot of you guys want in a gated community. So I digress. I just want to say that I'm connected with them now. So you guys who trust me, you guys know that I'm diligent at what I do when it comes to the real estate industry. So you can trust that I'm going to be working with them, not a third party person, but as one of the people that you can contact. So I will be doing some videos about that in the near future. Now, again, just like let's say you're staying in Casa Linda or La Mulata, and you know, Casa Linda is a gated community, so it's a little bit more expensive. But there are places past Casa Linda that may be a little bit inexpensive if you're trying to save money. And also in La Mulata, if you're trying to save money for a less expensive place. And you know, you don't need to be afraid of taking motor conchos when you leave the club. Most people, they just want to walk like from their hotel to the club. And I would encourage you guys to step out a little bit more. And how you do this as well is get to know a motor concho. A motor concho is a motor taxi. I'll be honest with you. Some nights I will take a new motor concho, right? A motor concho I've never seen before. I've had to a couple of times, but generally speaking, when I leave a club or when I leave a bar or whatever, I'll look on the road from my left to my right and I'll look for the motor concho that knows me. And a motor concho will say, "Hey, you want a motor concho?" And then they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Charamicos?" And I'm like, "Yes." They'll know where I'm going. Sometimes there has been times where I'm like, they don't know where I'm going. And it used to make me feel uncomfortable until just like the last past couple of, I would say maybe couple of months. So I do know and I do understand that fear that some of you guys will have because you're like, who is this person that's going to be taking me home on a motor concho? I've heard some stories where some people are afraid that the motor concho will pull over and one of their friends will be waiting on the road to, you know, do something to you, take your belongings, and that's not true. For the most part, most motor conchos just want to take you from your for where you're at to your destination and get right back to Bate because nighttime action is what they really rely on. They rely on the girls, the working girls going from the bottom of the beach where the blue building is, Coral Reef Casino, and sometimes they want to, if they're not seeing enough men there to get work with, then they'll want to take a ride going up to the other one in Playa Chiquita. And right there on the main road, Pedro Clasante, there are so many different motor conchos. They are not looking to take anything from you except to take you for a ride where you need to go. Now, I will say this as well. If you're brand new here and you need a motor concho, give me a shout. Okay. My number is always in the description. And if you just are like, you want someone that you can trust, a motoconcho that you can rely on, I have so many of them that I can just hand over a number to you and you can just trust them. Take them during the day, get to know them, and they will know where you live if you feel uncomfortable with everyone knowing where you live. And let me just say this as well. This is kind of comical because I live in Charamicos, which is considered the barrio, the hood, right? Sometimes there has been Dominican motoconchos that's like, oh, you're going to Charamicos, and they think before they take me. And I'm like, what? They're like, and they'll look around. I'll be like, it's safe. I don't live in La Piedra. They're like, I live closer to the road, and they'll be like, okay. And they're scared. And I'm like, are you scared? And they're like, no. And I'm like, wow, it's just, the stigma. People talk negatively and they don't need to. Once you step foot in Los Charamicos, once you walk these streets and stomp on these grounds that I do every day, you will also feel safe. But then again, when I come out of a bar or a club, and of late, I've been going out a little bit later because, you know, Wednesdays are my show, and I stay out after my show. And then plus last Friday, I went out just to dance a little bit. And so, it's past 1 o'clock in the morning, and most times, it will be Haitians. I have a lot of Haitian motor control drivers as well because a lot of those guys live here in Charamicos, and so they'll say Charamicos, Charamicos, and they'll call me over. So as you're here and you get to know people, you take down their WhatsApp numbers. And don't be afraid. Everyone does WhatsApp here. And if they are offering you a service, and they give you a really good service, don't miss out on that service. If you feel comfortable with that person and that person, Noche's trying to bite no, Noche is my dog. She's trying to bite my, my plants over there. I have plants growing from like fruits and vegetables that I grow. So, it's just a little garden. I'll show you guys in a minute. Let me show you guys now since we're on that topic. Hold on. All right. Hold on. I have to take my phone off this thing here. Hold on. I'm going to also show you a view of the beach. My phone. So there we go. We got a pineapple growing. Look, she digs all in it. We have some, I think that's thyme over there. I'm not sure. And then something else that just grew out on its own, and I'm just letting it grow. And then we have also right here some red pepper. And these are supposed to be peppers, but they're planted in clay right there in the middle. They're not growing. There's a coconut. Someone told me just plant the coconut and it will grow. And then this little plant over here, it's kind of like a vine right here. I say from Playa Cabarete. It was just like half the size of this stem, and it was dying on the beach. And I was like, this thing looks like it still has life. So I brought it home and planted it, and this is how much. Sorry, guys, I have the microphone away from me. This is how much it's grown. I don't know if you can see all that. It's beautiful. And then here's some more red pepper, yellow pepper, and there's the beautiful beach. Playa Sosua, gorgeous. I love it. And yeah, hold on, let me get this back on my phone stand. So Noche, she will, I don't know what she does, but she digs up that soil where the where the pineapple's growing, and she just digs in there, and I don't know what she's trying to dig in there for, but a pineapple takes 18 months to grow, and it's a pineapple from my pineapple that I had. I just popped off the top, put it in some soil, and it started to grow. So you guys could do that even no matter where you are around the world. And it takes 18 months for a pineapple to grow. And this one here is looking really good. So, every time she tries to get close to it, I tell her no. Anyway, I digress. If you guys are, if you guys like, some of you guys don't like motor conchos, you guys don't want to get on a motorcycle, and I get that, I understand that. So your option is for car, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on taxis. So that's the reason why you like to stay closer to Pedro Clasante, right in town, where you're going to do a lot of your shopping and a lot of your nighttime activity. Well, taxis aren't very expensive here. I'm going to give you a tip on what you should do is get a taxi that has propane, like literally propane, a propane tank, just like a barbecue tank. They're manufactured here like that, not just, spliced and cut up like that. You can buy them from a car dealership with a propane tank, and you just can't smoke in them. So I heard, but yeah, you can. That just means that the gas is cheaper, so that means that your driver will charge less, generally speaking. And that's why I like to use a lot of my drivers that pick you guys up from the airport. Not always, but most times when my drivers pick you up from the airport, they will have a propane tank because, I like to keep the prices low for you guys when you guys get picked up from the airport, right? There's the secret behind it. So if you're looking for a driver and you want someone that's going to take you around town and you want to be able to negotiate price with them, because we do know the gas prices are just going through the roof, and even here they've always been expensive. You just want to, ask someone, do they know? If you don't contact me and you're just watching this video for tips, then contact someone when you're here. I mean, just go to any taxi stand and just say, do you drive with propane? And if they're like, yep, then be like, okay, I would like to use your services. I'm going to use your services often. So I'm hoping that we can come up with a deal. Now, if they say no, then just flat out ask them. Say straight up, I'm looking for someone that has propane because I'm going to be using someone very often and I want to make sure I can strike up a deal. Chances are, if they're a taxi driver and it's at a taxi stand, and there's a few of them in Sosua. There's one up by King's restaurant right on the corner. It's tiny little booth. They're just tiny little booths, right? And then there's also one down by the beach entrance, down by Coral Reef, the big blue building, okay? Down by Playa Sosua beach entrance. There's a few more as well, but I mean, those are the two main ones on Pedro Clasante that are easy to find. And you just go up to them. Most of the taxi cab drivers, they speak English, and not all, but most of them, because they're dealing with tourists. And you just tell them, I'm looking for someone that has a propane tank so I can negotiate a price with them because I'm going to be using them a lot. They'll get you, they'll understand, and they'll say okay. And especially if you're someone that wants to take a trip around the island and you don't want to rent a car. But now, speaking of renting a car, if what I like to do is, and what I've done one time only, because my motoconcho, my guy who is my permanent motoconcho, my personal motoconcho for daytime only. He's a daytime motoconcho. You have nighttime motoconchos, daytime motoconchos. Most of the nighttime motoconchos are young guys. They're young. Most of the daytime motoconchos are usually over 35. They've already done their nighttime thing. They're tired now and they just do their daytime thing. It's just kind of interesting like that. But my motoconcho is over 35 and he's already done his nighttime motoconchoing back in the day. So he does daytime now. That's why at nighttime I'm always looking for a different guy, right? Um, I mean, I always have someone on speed dial if I really want one, but I usually don't want to wait because there's so many outside of the bar and restaurant. As soon as you step out, that someone will always know you and recognize you if you are on these streets. So in any case, again, if you need someone permanent for the nighttime, and that's when you usually go roaming in the streets, and that's usually, where when you do need a ride, then just let me know and I can get you someone. I digress. My driver, my motorcycle driver, moto concho, I encouraged him to get his license, and he went and he did, and he got it, and I'm so proud of him. And he's such a great driver. So if you're looking for someone to drive you around, you can rent the car. I have a car rental guy. I put the video up. I think it was, I don't know, Friday? No, not Friday. I think I put it up Thursday, just a few days ago. And on the title, it says my first car rental. And his name is Orlando Alvarez. And he is actually the guy for the, he owns the rental car company, but he's also the fire chief, fireman chief here in Los Charamicos. He owns a business on Pedro Clisante. He's very well known in this town. His family owns real estate and everything, and he can be trusted. He'll even pick you up at the airport with the rental car. But if you are a person that does not want to drive here because you're not used to the roads and you don't like motorcycles in and out of your space, and you just want to relax as you're on vacation, but you don't want to pay a cab to take you everywhere, then you can rent a car from Orlando, and you can get yourself a car for the day. There's little cars, there's larger cars, and he has almost every size. So if you have a big group or if you it's just yourself, you rent the car for the day. Now, this is my suggestion. If you're coming on vacation or if you live here and you don't want any of the responsibility, just get my driver to drive you around. My motor control driver did get his license, and I don't want the responsibility if anything happens to the car. I don't want, all I want is to be driven around. If there's a ding to the car, if there's a scratch to the car, I don't want anybody speaking to me about any of that at all, because it will weigh heavy on my mind, heavy on my heart. It will worry me, I'll have to meditate extra long and extra hard and all that stuff. And, I'm not here for all that, and I don't want to drive, to be honest with you. Some people do. They do. Maybe in more in the future I will, if I move out of the convenience of this area and I move to the countryside like I really do want to. But my driver, you just rent the car, like you pay for the car rental, and he'll put it under his name and he'll drive you all around. And he's a very good guy. So that's what I would say that you can also do if you're here for a week. Get yourself somebody that will drive you around, or get a nice motor concho or whatever. If you're here for 2 weeks or even a month, just consider renting outside of the main tourist area if it is money that you're trying to save, because the prices are going up. I just put up a video, I think it was last Tuesday, and it was on the beach. It was a gated community on the beach, and it's this gated community right here that my terrace faces. Now, I'm not in that gated community. My door exits out on the other side of this building, straight on Pedro Clisante. I mean, sorry, straight in Charamicos. But this gated community in front of me is gated, and it has a guard out front 24 hours. And it's a beautiful place. It has a pool. It's right on the beach. You can just go scuba diving and everything right off the cliff of where the pool is. It's beautiful. That one, for a 2 bedroom, 2 floor townhouse, it costs $1,900 a month. And and that's a deal. That's a deal, because my landlord here, his friend owns it. There are other places here, studio apartments, that are going for 1,200. 1 bedrooms that are going for 1,800. And I'm talking about 1 floor, 1 bedroom. And then, so, but if you want to take the place longer, you can get it for probably a good 1,800 if you get it for like 6 months or longer. So, yeah, guys, I just want to encourage you. Sosua is changing, and there are a lot of things happening. And again, it's being speculated that Playa Sosua, that is only put on hold for a moment. 3 plazas and 3 7-story condominiums, and they are going to be built in the future. I think the timing is just very sensitive because there's so many businesses on that beach. It's not like it's a beach that they're just going to go and build on. I think there's going to be so many phases to that work that it's going to be so sensitive. For instance, first they have to make sure they vacate every single place, and that's not going to be easy for those workers there because they vacate for how long? Right? A lot of them are like, oh yes, Reese, we're going to be going into plazas, and they're allowed to go into the plaza. And then, but when are those plazas going to be built? How long are they going to be at a business for? Are they going to just close down one part of the beach and do it in pieces? Like, are they going to say, okay, if you're at the Charamicos end of the beach, then your business is going to be closed down until that plaza is built. And then we're going to put you in that plaza when the plaza is built. And then so on and so forth. Are they going to take it from one end of the beach to the middle and then to the other end? Or are they just going to vacate it all, tell everyone they got to leave, and then, good luck, Charlie. And then once it's built, everyone will have to relocate when everything is available to them. I think it's a very sensitive thing to do, a very huge undertaking. And not only that, it's also going to be a long time without that beach. It's a huge project. And I think again, right now it's the kids are out of school. Right now it's not only the number one destination for people coming in from all around the world, but it is the number one destination for Dominicans coming in from all around, whether they're coming from La Vega, La Ramona, you know, Santo Domingo, Santiago, all over. So I think it's a huge thing, and it's not canceled. It's just on hold, and they are planning it strategically, which I think only makes sense. Only fools rush in. Only people without a plan try to tear everything up and then just leave it alone and don't know what to do with it afterwards. The worst thing they could do is dig that up and leave it like a cavity. And so I'm pretty sure that this president has way better plans than that. He's a pretty cool president, and he has experience in the industry. So, guys, I just wanted to hop on quickly and talk to you guys about all that, just about Sosua, some options of renting other places if you are living on a budget, and also some options for transportation, which is really important. Now, if you don't want to rent a car and you don't want to get in a motor concho, and you are traveling during the day, you can definitely get on the local bus. It's called the Guagua. Guagua, really Wawa because the G is silent, but it's Gua, Gua. It's the local bus. Get on the local bus and take it around. You can take it all the way from here to Puerto Plata City, and you can take it all, especially if you're going to like the hospital, or if you're going to the Malecon, or if you just want to go check out some restaurants in Puerto Plata, or if you even want to go to Jumbo, you can get on the Guagua, and it is convenient and very inexpensive. Also, public car. I always tell people, try out the public car. It's very similar to Uber Pool. It's less than a taxi. Public car is a car, and it looks like a taxi on the top of the roof. It does have one of those signs. And there's a public car station across from Texaco gas station. So in front of you, like you're back to Texaco gas station, you look across the street and you'll see like a car park. That car park area is where you just walk there. If you don't speak Spanish, don't be afraid. Just use your translator. Dominicans are very, very patient with tourists. This is a tourist town. So any type of service for them is money in their pocket, and they're not going to be impatient with you. They will actually help you if you don't have translator on your phone because you don't have phone service or like any cell service or anything. You haven't gotten that set up yet, and you're just kind of going by the seat of your pants. You can do that as well. Don't feel afraid. They'll grab someone that can speak English for you because it is in a heavy populated area. You just go over there and you say, you want to go to Puerto Plata or you want to go to Cabarete, and you can get to Cabarete in 15 minutes in a public car, or you can get to Puerto Plata in 20 minutes. Here's another option for you if you don't want to take, I call it Uber Pool because everyone pools together in it, and it's kind of like Uber because it's inexpensive and it's like less than $1. less than $2 to go all the way to Puerto Plata. So I always encourage people that if you don't want to sit or be crowded in it with other people, then offer to pay for the other seats. Okay, so each seat, like for instance, I'm just going to give a quote. Let's say that you're going to Puerto Plata and it costs 100 pesos. That's $2. And there's 4 seats in the back and 2 seats up front aside from the driver. Because yes, the seats are like that. It's not just how it is these days when you have the handle between two people. You have the whole three-seater at the front. And so let's say, you're just like, I just want to ride it on my own. So what you do is you tell the guy, I want to pay for the 2 seats up front and I want to pay for all the seats in the back. So you're going to pay 600 pesos, 4 seats in the back and 2 seats up front. 600 pesos is $12. And that's a pretty good deal if, you can work that out with the driver, especially if it's during a time of day where there's a lot of drivers on the road and it's not too much of a high traffic hour. And you can definitely work that out. Sometimes they'll say to you, well, if I'm going to do that, then give me, give me 1,000 pesos. And you just say, no, say, I will pay for all of the other seats. And you might tell them, I don't mind if there's 2 seats in the front, but I want to pay for the back on my own, especially if you are with someone else and it's just you two, and you just want to chill out in the back and stretch your legs a little bit and relax, roll down the windows, and you don't want to be cramped up with anyone else. That is an option that you guys can do. Just say, 2 people, I want to pay for the back. We're going to each pay double fare. And that's a good way to get around during the day as well. Public car really doesn't work, doesn't really operate all hours of the night, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning type of thing. So you will need to get yourself a taxi. But remember, if you have yourself a driver, then you can get around. Sosua is a very tourist friendly place. There's a reason why it is the number one destination. And in the Caribbean, I keep saying the Caribbean because it is the number one destination in the Dominican Republic. But the Dominican Republic is the number one destination in the Caribbean. So if Sosua is the number one destination in the number one destination, then that means Sosua is the number one destination in the Caribbean. So there's a reason for that. There's police officers everywhere all the time, morning, noon, and night. There are tourist police officers, and it will say on their trucks. There's also national police. You can just pull anybody over at any time if you ever have a problem. Don't be afraid. I can remember actually during the pandemic, oh my gosh, it was crazy. We had a 7 o'clock curfew and I was in Cabarete at my friend's house. And I was like, okay, it only takes about 20 minutes to get to Charamicos from Cabarete if we're going real quick and there's hardly anyone on the road at that time. So my buddy and I were going to go on one motoconcho, right? There was 3 of us. There was my motoconcho, my buddy that lives here in Los Charamicos, and myself. We all get on the bike because you can double on a motoconcho. You can triple on a motoconcho depending on what size you are. Sometimes I've seen 4 people on a motoconcho and someone holding a baby and the person in the back holding food and bags. And I've been that person. I've been on with 3 people. So in any case, we get on the bike. We're halfway to Sosua. All of a sudden the wheel pops and it is like 5 minutes before curfew. And I was like, oh no. And my heart started to beat fast. And I was like, oh no, because they were putting people away if they were out past curfew. And I was like, no. But you know what? I pulled the police over. I was like, hey, I even took a video of it. I was like, hey guys, please forgive us. It's past curfew, but we need your help. Please, help us out here. And you know what they did? They were like, all right, they took the motorcycle itself, they put the motorcycle in the back of the pickup, and then the 3 of us, myself, my buddy, and the motoconcho, all climbed in the back, not the back of the pickup, but the back seat. And oh no, no, I'm forgetting. My motoconcho sat with his bike my buddy and I sat in the back seat of the pickup truck, and then the cops were in the front. And they were cool with it. They brought us home for free. And they were like, you don't have to pay anything. And I gave them 500 pesos, and my buddy gave them a little tip too. 500 pesos is 10 bucks. And I was like, no, I appreciate it so much. God bless you. And they were like, yeah. And that's how cool and friendly the police really are here. So you guys don't have to be afraid of the police, even if you've been here for a while. Let's say one of the big questions I get here are people that come for like a week and then they decide to stay for like 2 months. They think that because they overstayed their visa of the 1 month that's allotted to you when you first get off the plane, they think, oh my gosh, and they're paranoid and they're scared. Don't be scared, because that's not a thing here. No police officers are going to go around and ask you for your passport, ask you for your ID, unless, of course, there's some type of problems. But if you're minding your own business, no one's going to mind it for you. So, that's not a thing here. If anything happens to you and you need help, just yell out to one of the police officers. And don't hesitate to contact me. I have police officer friends that look out for tourists and that understand the tourist mentality. They understand when tourists get themselves into fights, when tourists get themselves into accidents, when tourists get themselves into arguments with girls or guys. So there's so many things that go on here because it's such a multicultural environment that the police officers are like, it's just a gringo thing or it's just a gringa thing. And they know how to help the foreigners quite a lot. And I know there's a lot of rumors out there that they try to take advantage. And no, this is not true. This is a town where they do try to help. If they know that you're out doing something and up to no good, and they can smell something fishy around you, and they're like, you're up to no good, then of course they're going to go in on you and see what you're all about. But I think sometimes the good things are, and sometimes they're wrong. I mean, you could be living a totally good lifestyle, great at everything you're doing, and they just sense something negative and they make you pay to get out of that problem. Some people don't like that, but I think that's actually a bonus. I think it's a bonus if you can just pay to get out of a ticket, or just, and then you don't have to worry about paying that at the airport when you're leaving. You don't have to worry about, that being on your head, that you have to maybe go to the fiscalia, like to the courts, and get it dealt with. You can just pay on the spot and it's done. It's dealt with. So, I mean, there's obviously the negatives around that as well, too, but it is what it is. I know a guy that, a foreigner that likes Bob Marley, and he got caught with it on him. And like 2 dime bags. I don't know if you guys understand that language, but he got caught with that on him. And he was walking, and the police stopped him. And he told them it's for personal use. And he told them that he uses it for medicinal purposes because, he has a little bit of pains. It helps him sleep and all that stuff. And they said to him, well, this is not legal here in this country. And they told him that they're going to have to take him in. And he's like, what? Like, he was so terrified. He was so scared. And then he said to them, well, is there any other option? Because he would have had to pay at least 1,000 for a lawyer. He would have had to pay. You don't want all that stuff on your name and on your passport either. And they told him, they said, okay, $100. And he paid 5,000 pesos. 100, the equivalent, not even the equivalent of 100 American dollars. And he just handed it over to them right away, and boom, they let him go, and he went back to his Airbnb. And he just chilled. He was afraid. He didn't even want to smoke and everything. And, I told him, I said, well, you want to be careful. Like, if you're going to do that stuff, you get someone to go get that for you. Like, I've seen people buy it, foreigners buy it. And it's like, you shouldn't do that. Don't set yourself up like that. I'm not really into that lifestyle at all. I like to go out and have a few drinks and everything like that. And I mean, I'm just happy knowing that you can drink in a store, or you can drink on the beach. In Toronto, in where I'm from, like you couldn't even buy alcohol in the store. When I left, I heard that it was going to become legal to buy alcohol in the store. I don't know if that's so. I know that Bob Marley is legal now, which is strange, right? Good. I think it's fabulous because it has so many medicinal qualities to it, which is amazing, especially for children that are autistic and everything like that. And, the CB oil, I think it's called. But, me, I just like having a drink and chill. But I do know that a lot of foreigners that like to get that stuff, they have someone that goes for them. Everyone has a guy, and that's it. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not promoting it, but I'm just trying to tell you don't do it yourself. It will ruin your vacation and it will definitely mess you up with your name. Other people, they say they just want to go buy it themselves because they don't want to be set up. Well, that's a surefire way to get set up because if you're going out to buy it yourself, you don't know what's going to happen to yourself from where you buy it on your way home, on your way back to your Airbnb. So, hey, if you go get someone to get it for you and you're quiet about it and you do your own thing and all that stuff, then I'm pretty sure everything will be a-okay. Again, I'm not endorsing it, I'm not promoting it. I'm just warning you that you want to be careful because Bob Marley is not legal here. Keep everything that you do on the down low. A lot of people think that motor conchos are dangerous. Get that out of your mind. I remember when I was on the plane coming here, and I was sitting with a guy, and I was sitting with his daughter, and it was my second time here. I was here 6 weeks before that for 2 weeks, and then I came July 16th, 4 years ago, and never left. So I was sitting on the plane. I was sitting between a dad and his daughter. His daughter is Dominican, but he had full custody. So he was bringing his daughter down here every year, and it was just happened to be their vacation time. And actually, one of my first videos on the road here is of him. I forget his name now, but so I even have him on Facebook and everything. But they were giving me little warnings, and they were like, "Don't trust motor conchos," and I was like, "Why? Like, why not trust the motor concho?" And they said, "Oh, because they're dangerous. Don't date them. Blah blah blah." Some of my best friends here are motor conchos, and I did date one, and he treated me very well. And I mean, obviously he was a little bit younger than me, and it messed up because I caught him doing some crazy things. Not crazy things, I caught him talking to another woman on the internet, and I was just like past that in my life. I'm like, nah, I'm just not going to deal with that. But he wasn't crooked, and he wasn't like mafioso, what we call here. He was a good guy. So my suggestion to you guys is to just really focus on getting here. Focus on, if your thing is to save money, then save your money, rent a little bit outside of the beach area. If you need transportation because you're not driving or you don't want to drive, then get used to the motor concho. If you don't like the motorcycles because you feel they're a little dangerous, then get yourself on public car. Or if you just don't want to use a car and you're cool with local bus, get yourself on local bus because local bus is one of the best ways to get yourself around. I love the local buses. I really do. I have no problem getting on the local bus at all. You get on and you just tell them where you're going, and they will pull over right where you're going. I can remember one time I got on the local bus and I needed to go near the hospital because I was going to a spa and I didn't know exactly where it was. So I asked the local bus. I was like, "Do you go near Bornagel Hospital?" And he's like, "Is that what you need? You need Bornagel Hospital?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I can go pay a little bit more." And I was like, "Okay, like, isn't this like a local bus?" And he's like, "It's okay." He made the turn to go to Bornagel, and he told everyone in the bus, he's like, "Don't mind, I'm just making a quick turn. I'm just going to drop off the gringa and then I'm going to turn back around again." I was with my acquaintance, Sonia. Shout out Sonia if you watch this video. She was with me. And we were like, wow. And so, I mean, that's how cool it is. Of course, sometimes they may say not every driver is going to be like that, but they will tell you how to get there, and you can take a motor concho from wherever bus stop you're at to where your destination is. So that's what's really going on in Sosua. There is a lot of construction that's going on everywhere, just not on the beach yet. There are a lot of changes that are undergoing right now. And the most obvious ones that you guys will see when you get here, because you're not everywhere, like how someone like myself would be, in the streets and everything, seeing the daily changes, because everything's getting changed day by day, especially again, the sidewalks. So for a person like you who's not seeing those little microscopic things, you will notice those changes in the rent. Macroscopically speaking, on a macroscopic scale, you definitely will notice that the prices in rent are going up, and by a couple of hundred compared to last year. So if you were here and you rented something for like 400, don't be surprised if it's that same apartment and now it's 100 more, 200 more. Don't be surprised. No one's trying to rip you off. That is the prices that have increased, and nothing else has changed. It's not like they did renovations. It's not like, electricity has gone up. It's not like water prices have gone up in like water for the taps. No, it's not even like that. It's just that tourism has gone up and people are raising their prices. I guess that's just how it goes, right? High demand, high prices. So I don't think that's going to change anytime in the near future. But I am going to get some more information as soon as we got it. Again, this week is going to be an exciting week for me because this Wednesday I don't have to go to my talk show. I took a month off from my talk show, and I'm already really excited about it because I am a homebody and I only like to go out when I have to go out. And Wednesdays are always those days where I'm like, oh, I gotta go work. Like, I'm not used to a 9 to 5. I've never really had a 9 to 5. I've always been a business owner, an entrepreneur, which I want to start showing you guys more of as well. A lot of you guys are contacting me since I put out my video last week about 7 tips on, running a successful business. And a lot of you guys are contacting me because some of you guys want to be vloggers yourself. You want to know how you can make videos. You want to know how you can edit your videos. You want to know how you can go live. And I love doing it. There's a restaurant on Pedro Clasante where the guy's just really starting out, and I'm telling him exactly how to do piece by piece by piece, how to make flyers, how to, get on Instagram, Twitter, how to make his videos, how much time is good for each video and stuff of that nature. Right now, I'm revamping my whole channel so YouTube doesn't know what's going on with me. And that's why my algorithms are just going up and down, up and down. And my viewers are down as well because YouTube is not recommending or suggesting my videos to anyone because they don't know what I'm doing. They don't know if I'm doing relocation videos, real estate videos, business videos, working girl videos, Sosua videos. They have no clue now because I just put out so many different videos. So I have to wait for probably about, I would say, 3 months for it to really kick in and for them to understand, because it's a computer, right? For them to understand that Mondays I'm going to do motivation. And because I've only been doing this for about a month and a half now, right? So YouTube needs to catch up with me. Tuesdays is real estate. Wednesdays is relationship reaction videos. Thursdays usually would be a snippet from my talk show. But since I'm going to be on a hiatus for the next month, it's going to be real estate again. So Tuesdays and Thursdays will be real estate. This Thursday, actually probably this Tuesday. This Tuesday, I'm going to put up a snippet from my show last week, right? But we talked about real estate. And it was so interesting because you guys can get approved for a mortgage before you even decide on a place to buy. And you only have to put down 30%. So, all you have to do is just send your passport number, send your information. Scotiabank here will go through it with you with the agent that I'm using. This is a special deal with my viewers, and you will be able to get approved. Well, you'll be able to see what you're approved for. And this is before you even decide on a property. You don't have to pay cash. A lot of people right now, they're frustrated because they're like, oh my gosh, they only have about 30,000 to put down. Or, and they want to buy a condo that's like 80,000 and they can't because those are usually cash deals. And if it's not a cash deal, then you can get it with sale by owner, financing by owner, which just merely means that you are putting down a payment, usually 50% to the owner, and then you're paying the owner monthly, a certain monthly fee for like 3 years, it usually is, right? And that's not always feasible for everyone either because you don't get the title until you're paid off. And, that's difficult for a lot of people as well. So this is a brand new system that's happening. It's great. And I'm going to be putting that up on Tuesday so you guys can watch it. And it's going to be with a real estate agent that I'm working with. And I think that's going to be fun for a lot of you guys to watch because it's going to give you information. So yeah, just to wrap up, I'm going to be working with as well Casa Linda for those of you who need an insider. And I'm an insider now with Casa Linda. I'm going to be one of those agents that are going to be. They sent me my own password and they sent me my own, sign in name and everything. And so I'm really excited about that. I mean, that's a lot of respect and a lot of responsibility that they are honoring me with. So I think that's pretty interesting and also it's honorable. And so, I'm looking forward to working with you guys on that. So whether it is a place that you want to buy outside of a gated community or inside of a gated community, I'm going to have your back on that. And I'm going to be doing some more videos on that as well. Okay. And of course, Fitness Fridays, where we talk about my weight loss, which I haven't really been talking about. I haven't gained the weight back that I lost, but I definitely have not been as diligent. And I think that's just human nature. But I'm getting back on track with that during this month that I'm going to have at home to do my own thing. And, and really work on that because I know a lot of you guys are doing that as well. Now, when I say I'm going to be home, what I mean is I'm going to be spending a lot of time at home. But like, for instance, tomorrow I'm going to be in town. I have to go get a couple of packages that I'm waiting on, and EPS if they arrive tomorrow. If they don't arrive tomorrow, then Tuesday. But I'm still going to be doing my thing, but I'm just not going to be, out in the streets for too long, too much. I love creating from home. Guys, I love you so much. Again, I just wanted to hop on today and just say hi. I just wanted to, stick with my Sunday routine. And if you guys have any questions about anything at all, contact me personally on my phone number through WhatsApp or through email, and we can discuss your concerns. If you're looking for a relocation consultation where we talk for about a half an hour to an hour about what area that is best for you to move into or to rent long term, or even just for tourists to be a tourist, then we can get into that as well. I have a fee for my consultations. All the information I think is in the description. If not, just give me a shout and I'll let you know everything. And then also, again, if you're looking for a driver, if you're looking for anything like an airport pickup drop off, a rental car, I'm a one-stop shop. That's what I like to call myself. And I love to help. I love to teach. I love to assist people and becoming better people every single day. Which brings me to my last point. Motivation Mondays tomorrow. Check out the video. I give my own opinion on Wendy Williams and not only her situation and her onset of dementia and her supposed to be getting married and her supposed to be getting canceled and all this other stuff, but really just about people in general that may be going through what she's going through and hitting rock bottom. As a soul coach, I always love to see people rise back up. Drake, the singer, rapper, has one of his songs out on one of his albums. I forget what the album name is, but he does like an intro to one of his songs. And he's like, tell me a story about I'm paraphrasing. Tell me a story about how you fell and got back up, as opposed to telling me a story just how you made it, right? And I think that as well is how I like things too when it comes to people. You know, everyone has a story, and some of the most interesting stories are those people that fell and got back up again. And speaking about getting back up, if you guys have any business questions as well about starting a business, it doesn't matter if it's here in the Dominican Republic, if it's online, just let me know. I do consultations. I'm going to be doing more and more of those videos on my YouTube channel as well, even though the algorithms and the views aren't as high as something that would be with the word Sosua in it. I'm willing to risk that in the views because there may be a handful of you guys that are watching my channel and you guys really want to start a business because you're tired of your 9 to 5. You're just not cut out to do it. And you are really sad and you just don't have a point of reference on where to start, how to start, you know, or even how to maintain a business, but you have the idea. Or maybe you don't even have an idea and you just need a consultation with some advice. I've talked to some of my clients that, you know, wanted to become an entrepreneur, didn't even have an idea, but I speak to them about their mind and about their talents and their experiences and what they're really good at, and we come up with like a business formula for them, and before you know it, they are successfully running a business, most people online. So you can also do that online, make a couple of extra bucks, just top up your pocket, some passive income while you're sleeping. You're selling things online. Anything is possible. I keep hearing a squeaking over there, but anything is possible and you are worthy of it. So make sure that you put yourself first and enjoy life. I love you guys. Mwah. I will talk to you. Make sure you join me tomorrow for Meditation Monday. I mean, not meditation, motivation, but I do meditate. So check out my videos on meditation on this channel as well. Take care, guys. Huge hugs, loads of love, and big blesses.